Welcome to the Alison Vaugh Show, the ministry for busy moms. It is no accident that you're here today. You are here for a divine appointment, and I'm so happy that you joined me. Today, we're going to talk about walking in victory. Amen? No more excuses. You know, God has a plan and a purpose for us, but we get distracted sometimes, so no more excuses. You know, have you ever wanted to do something, but then you get distracted and you get off course? Well, I'm going to talk about getting you back on course so you can walk in God's plan, walking in victory. You know, last week we went on a family vacation and my daughter wanted to go to Great Wolf Lodge, which is in Sandusky, Ohio. So for all you viewers, I know I have viewers all over the United States watching, but I live in Michigan, and so to go to Great Wolf Lodge is in Sandusky, Ohio. And so we're in the car and we're driving, and my daughter's so excited about going to Great Wolf Lodge. And I said, well, do you want to stop and, get something to eat? No, I just want to go straight there. So then once we get there, we see a mall. And of course, me, being a woman, I'm like, oh, let's stop at the mall. Nope, I don't want to stop. I want to go straight there. She was so direct. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She didn't want any distractions. She wanted to go from point A to point B. And so a lot of times we get distracted, when it's time to do something. Like, have you ever watched the Kentucky Derby or any horse race? Those horses have blinders on because when they're getting ready to go in the race, they make sure that those horses have blinders because they don't want to be distracted. They don't want their horse to look to the right or to the left. They have a plan and a purpose, and that is to walk it, to run and have victory. And so sometimes in life, we have to do the same thing. Sometimes we have to put blinders on because we have to be focused on what God wants us to do so we can win the race and we can walk in victory. Because sometimes we're like, oh my God, look what she's doing, look what he's doing. Sometimes we compare ourselves to other people and think that we're not on the right course, and then we get distracted and we get off course. Or sometimes the enemy will come in for whatever reason and get you off course. But whatever your plan, whatever your goal, walk in your path. Don't worry about what's going on to the left or the right of you. Stay on course so you can walk in your victory. And that's what we're talking about today, is no more excuses, no distractions. Now, are you all familiar with Jericho and the walls come tumbling down? Most of us know all about that story. But I'm going to talk a little bit and tell you about that because I think it's so relevant about trying to get to the promised land, trying to get what God has for you. We're talking about staying on course and walking in victory and having God's plan. Let me tell you the story about Jericho. I know that you all are familiar with it, but let me just tell it to you the way I know it, and then we can just talk about it from there. 2 million Israelites made the exodus from Egypt and traveled through the desert toward the promised land. And once again, we're talking about staying on course. So they came to the city of Jericho, which was the last obstacle that stood between them and the land God promised them. Jericho was surrounded by a huge stone, and it was so thick that the chariots could rise on top of it. And God told Joshua to have the people march around the walls for 7 days and not say a word. The first day they went around and they walked and nothing happened. And it was hot and it was dusty and they were tired and they were already worn out from traveling through the desert. And so on the second day, they did it again. They walked around, nothing happened. And on the third day, they walked around, nothing happened. On the fourth day, nothing happened. And they started to get discouraged and they were thinking, what are we out here for? Nothing is happening. We're trying to get to the promised land and we're walking around and nothing is happening. These walls aren't coming tumbling down. Why are we out here? And so they thought, what are we doing? At least if one rock or a pebble or something would happen to give us some sign. And they just kept on. On the fifth day, they thought, well, if the things start crumbling, we would see something. And then God said, keep on walking. And so they walked and they walked. And what they were doing what God called them to do, walk around and not complain. And so God works in silence, because they were like, well, nothing is happening. But you have to remember, a lot of times God works in silence. He'll tell you to do something and you think, well, I'm doing what God told me to do, but nothing is happening. So because nothing is happening, you get discouraged and you walk away. But you have to stay obedient to God's word. Because nothing is happening doesn't mean that God is not working on your behalf. So the Israelites, they didn't understand it. And they were uncomfortable, but they just kept doing the right thing. And on the seventh day, they went around 7 times, and there was still no sign of the wall coming down. But then, on the 7th completion, they blew trumpets and shouted, and suddenly, don't you like that word? Suddenly, the walls came tumbling down. That word suddenly is in the Bible a lot. Too often we'll stay in faith if we see like the wall cracking or something tumbling. If we see a sign, then that gives us faith. But they saw nothing, but they stayed obedient. They stayed. Sometimes you are not going to see what God does right away, but you have to stay in faith. How many of you are praying for something, and it might be a week, a month, a year, and it might even be years? You're praying and you're doing like them. You're walking around, and you're not seeing anything. And God told you to do this and this and this, and you keep trying it, and nothing is happening. But just wait, because your suddenly is coming. Suddenly it will happen. Just like the walls will come tumbling down. You will sound the trumpet or rejoice after a while. And when I read that, it really hit home to me, because I've been praying for something for years. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm praying. I'm doing all that you've asked me to do. I don't hear a word from you. It must not be happening. Where is the sign? But God is working on my behalf. He's just not showing me. But I have to stay in faith, because I'm going to walk in victory. And I know things are going to happen for me eventually on this prayer. And then it'll be a testimony. Because you have, as they say, you have a test to give a testimony. And so I'm just going to keep on walking. I'm just going to keep on walking. I might not say anything, but I know I will have a victory. And I can give somebody else's testimony about something, because many of you know Shawn Robinson, who was the host of Access Hollywood. Now she's a producer with T.D. Jakes, and she's my cousin. And I did a show with her. So if you go back, you'll see one of my previous shows where I interviewed her. And she's going to be having a huge Lifetime TV movie coming out with T.D. Jakes. Well, she just posted on her social media that for 4 years that she had been praying to do a TV show. 4 years. So she put in the script 1 year, heard nothing. Put in second year, kept waiting. The third year, it took 4 years before her and T.D. Jakes put this project together. Now she could have just said, you know what, after 2 years, I've tried, this is Hollywood, they're going to pick somebody else, I'm not going to be able to collaborate. And then look what happened. And the reason why I'm sharing her testimony is because she shared it publicly on all her social media platform. And so a lot of times other people's testimony will give you hope and inspiration. If she can do it, I can do it. And I love how she shared that so publicly, about 4 years waiting to do something. And now she's got a 7-book series that's coming out on Lifetime with T.D. Jakes. And I think that is awesome. That is just so phenomenal. But just to be able to say that. And so she was like the Israelites, just going around the circle, going around. And now her blessing, she's in the promised land now, because all that waiting and all that she went through came through. And I can just think about myself with my company. Here it is, 21 years that I've been operating Jackets for Jobs. And I know my 7th year, I was ready to give up. I was like, okay, I don't have any example of how to run a nonprofit. I don't have any family members that have done it. I'm doing this all, just a trial and error. And it's going wonderfully, it's successful, but I'm starting to feel burnout. I know God called me to help other people. I know God says, I want you to help the needy. I want you to help the poor. I want you to help women that are on welfare. But after that 7th year, I started thinking, oh my God, I'm ready to throw in the towel. I'm exhausted. Running a business is hard, but I didn't want to stop. And here in Detroit, there's a street, Woodward, which is a major street in the city of Detroit. I was driving down Woodward in Chicago, and there's a huge church. So in 2007, because this is when I wanted to give it up, in my 7th year, I got that 7-year itch. Like when marriages talk about that 7-year itch where they just want to just throw in the towel after 7 years. Well, my 7th year, I was driving down the street, and there was this huge church, and it had all the scaffolding, and it was under construction. And I looked at that church, and I said, that's how I feel, like I'm under construction, and people are watching me build this business. And if I stop and throw in the towel now, they'll never see the completed project. And just like that church, it was under construction, and when it was all complete, it was going to be this big, beautiful church with the stained glass, and people would drive down and see that church. Well, that's how I felt with Jackets for Jobs. That as people were looking at me and this business that I built up, I didn't want to start something and not complete it. And I felt that I would have been a failure, or I would have been a loser. And I guess it's kind of like with marriages, when people say they get married and if they get a divorce, that's kind of like death to some people, or like they feel like a failure, like they didn't complete something. But I prayed about it, and I said, Lord, you wanted me to start this nonprofit. This is your business, and you asked me to be the director of it. And so what can I do? Re-energize me, give me hope and inspiration, and tell me what to do so I can continue to be a blessing to other people, because right now I'm just not feeling it. And after I said that prayer, it was like a burden was lifted off, and I felt really good, and I continued. I wrote more grants, received more money. I was able to help more people. The mission of what the organization was all about just stayed. And so if you're going through something and you feel like giving up, but you know it's something from God, God will equip you and give you all the necessary tools that you need to do what you need to do. And that was year 7. That was in 2007, and now we're in 2021. So what is that, 14, if my math is right? That's, 14 years ago? And I'm still operating this nonprofit, helping over 30,000 people find employment. I didn't give in. I didn't give up. I didn't throw in the towel like so many people want to do. I persevered. I'm walking in victory because I'm helping other people. And when you do God's business, God will take care of you. If your heart is in the right place, you're on a mission, you're on a path, God will see you through. So sometimes you have to be like a horse in the Kentucky Derby. Put on your blinders so you're not distracted. You're not looking to the left or the right, but you're focused on what God has for you. You can win the race. You can win. Sometimes you just have to put on those blinders and focus on the race. Focus on the finish line. But there are going to be hurdles and different steps you have to take, but you will see victory. So be like me. Do not give up. Like I said, in 2007, I wanted to give up, but I didn't focus on myself. I turned it over to God and asked God to give me inspiration. So many people want to give up, and there's so many wonderful examples of people that did not give up. They persevered, and now they're walking in victory. And I want to share those stories and those people with you, because I know you're thinking, oh my God, well, that was her story. No, you have your own story. We're all a walking book. Everybody is a book. Everybody has a story. And so I want you to listen at this, because this will give you hope for whatever you're going through. You might say to yourself, I was molested. Look at Oprah Winfrey. But I can't beat cancer. Look at Robin Robbins. You might say, but I have HIV. I don't know how I can make it. Look at Magic Johnson. You said, well, I can't read. Look at Floyd Mayweather and Fantasia. You said, well, I'm homeless. Look at Tyler Perry and Tiffany Haddish. You said, well, I can't get past this dark space in my life. Look at Jennifer Hudson. You said, well, nothing is going right. I'm still on drugs. Look at Samuel L. Jackson. You said, my appearance would hinder me. Look at Lizzo. You said, I was adopted. I don't know if I can go any further or anybody would like me. Look at Nelson Mandela. You said, I'm not strong enough to persevere. I can't beat it. but look at the life of Chadwick Boseman. You said, I can't leave these streets. Look at Jay-Z. You said, I was cheated on, I was crushed, I was hurt in a relationship. Look at Beyonce. You said, I don't know as a mom if I can make it. I didn't have a father around. My mother struggled. Look at LeBron James. You said, I'm a mixed kid, we don't fit in. Look at Barack Obama. You said, I'm old and washed up, it's over for me. Look at Tiger Woods. You said, I lost the biggest opportunity in my life. Look at Stacey Abrams. You said, I grew up in housing projects. Look at Raphael Warnock. You said, I have a speech impediment. Look at Amanda Gorman. You said, no woman has ever risen to the top. Look at VP Kamala Harris. No matter what your circumstance, God can turn things around in your favor. Just believe. Have faith in God. God has a plan and a purpose for you, just like he had a plan and a purpose for all of these people. They didn't let their obstacles, and they didn't let these situations affect them. They walked in their victory, and so can you. So all these people overcame obstacles. They stayed focused with no excuses, and you can do it too. God is getting ready to bless you and take you places where you've never gone before. Do things that you've never done before. You can do it. Keep following your dreams, keep following your passion, and you will be successful. And people will be talking about you. I know that you have a dream inside that you want to do. And so if you get discouraged or there are distractions, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear the path. And just remember that. And I'll say that again. Not all storms come to distract you and disrupt your life. Some come to clear the path. So don't get discouraged if there's a storm. Don't get discouraged. Just know that God is there for you. Believe in yourself and you can do it. You are unstoppable. And that's why I say it's no accident that you're here today. You might have just tuned in just to hear that you can do it. You're unstoppable. Work that dream that's inside of you. You know, whatever it is, you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. A lot of times people will tell you you can't do something because they can't do it, or they're afraid they can't do it, so they put their fear on you. So when times get rough, when things seem like they're falling apart, when you're about to give up, tell yourself, I can do it. I have God on my side. And that's what I've done. And make sure you're surrounding yourself with positive people. Sometimes you just have to cheer yourself up. Sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader. And sometimes you just have to remove certain people out of your life if they're not on the same path with you. And find a mentor. Find somebody that has gone through what you're going through and done what you're doing. So if you want to open up that bakery, talk to somebody that opened up a bakery. Find out where they got their loan from, where they purchased their piece of property to open up their business. What did they do as far as financing? Because that's the biggest thing, that opening up a business is all about financing. So talk to other people. A mentor can save you many steps. You know, you're trying to go A, B, C, D, and you don't know how you're going to get to E, F, and G. If you have a mentor, somebody that has been where you're going, it can save you. And see, for me, when I was starting my business, Jackets for Jobs, I didn't have a mentor in the business because none of my family members were entrepreneurs. So I had to actually go to the library and get books. But if you can find a mentor, that can save you so much. And that's why God puts certain people in your life to help you accomplish your goals. And that times God removes different people out of your life so you can continue with your goals. So you have to have that spirit of discernment. A spirit of discernment is so important. And so hopefully you have that. And that's just staying in the Word and having a relationship with God. Then that's when you can really tell who's for you, who's against you, who's on the path to help you run your race. And so I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Celebrating 21 years of helping so many job seekers has been such a joy in my life. Gives me so much joy to be able to help and give back. And so this video is going to show you all the wonderful people that have given their congratulations on the path that we have taken here in Detroit to help other people. So I hope you enjoy it just as much as I have.
Hi there, it's Shawn Robinson. Let me be the first to congratulate Jackets for Jobs on 21 years of service. Alison, Vaugh, and Betty Henderson, kudos for building this organization from the ground up. Jackets for Jobs has grown into such an important part of the Detroit community, my hometown. Thank you for helping so many job seekers and giving them the confidence they need to take that major step into the workforce and dressing the part for their new position. Best wishes for many, many, many more years of service.
Yo, what's up? This is Doug E. Fresh, coming at you with much love and much respect. This one here is coming live and direct to everybody. Are you ready? I want to send a happy 21st anniversary to Alison, Vaugh, CEO of Jackets for Jobs. Listen. Have you ever seen a show with fellas on the mic with 1 minute rhymes that don't come out right? They bite, they never write, that's not polite. Am I lying? No, I'm quite right. Tonight on this very mic, you're about to hear, we swear, best darn rappers of the year. So, cheerio, scream bravo, and if you don't know, now you know. Let me tell you something you need to know. This is a congratulations and a happy anniversary to the entire staff for helping Detroit job seekers find employment. Congratulations for doing God's work of helping the needy. It's like that. And as a matter of fact, it's like this. With just a flick of the wrist, you couldn't get a better gift if it was Christmas. And you got, you got, you got. Hey, you're on. Happy anniversary to everybody that helped make this possible. Keep being a blessing to Detroit and continue to do God's work. Happy anniversary.
Allison. Hello, it's Stacy from What Not to Wear. And yes, I did have a show called What Not to Wear. And as you said, you tell people what to wear. I'd like to think that I did both, but I totally hear what you're saying. And I want to congratulate you on 21 years of styling people who are unemployed to help them find work. I don't know that there is a more noble cause than that and a more noble way to utilize styling skills than that. So I want to say happy 21st anniversary to Jackets for Jobs, and congrats. Continue suiting people for success. All of that, I think, is truly so wonderful, and requires such a kind of compassion for humans, and I'm in awe of you for that. So congrats, suiting people for success, so important. And enjoy your 21st anniversary and have a wonderful, wonderful day, year, and future. Bye.
Alison Vaugh, as I live and breathe. How are you? Well, let's just get straight to the point. Happy 21st anniversary for Jackets for Jobs. And I also want to wish you continued success with helping more job seekers in Detroit. Keep doing the work that you do. We need more people like you. Also tell your lovely daughter, Sarah, I said hello. Okay. All the best, Alison, and continued success.
John Spider Sally here, and I want to say happy 21st anniversary to the entire staff at Jackets for Jobs. You guys are doing amazing jobs, and I want to congratulate you on being the best and the brightest company to work in the city of Detroit. Putting clothing on the poor for 21 years, that's big time. My hat's off to you. My heart's out to you. Congratulations. Keep up the great work.
Hello there, Dorinda Clark Cole here. I'd love to congratulate this awesome team of ladies for their charity of work that they do in the city of Detroit. Jackets for Jobs. For 21 years, they have been doing outstanding service in helping Detroit job seekers. And I tell you, ladies, we really commend you on a wonderful job that you all have been really helping a lot of people get jobs. I got to congratulate these ladies, Betty, Alison, and Brenda. Thank you so much.
And I have to say, I want to thank Sean Robinson. I want to thank Dougie Fresh. I want to thank Anthony Anderson, Stacy London, John Sally, and Dorinda Clark Cole. All of them for a wonderful thank you, congratulations for Jackets for Jobs. And I hope that this message has been an inspiration to you about stay the course and have no distractions. And if anything, the people that I've talked about that have had obstacles in their life, that have overcome them and are celebrating and walking in their victory, hopefully that has been inspiration for you, because I know that it has been inspiration for me to hear somebody being homeless like Tyler Perry and Tiffany Haddish, and look at where they are today. I think that is wonderful inspiration. Or a person like Tiger Woods that said, you know what, I don't think I can come back, and then he turns around and then wins it again. So when you see stories like that, it should give you hope and inspiration, knowing that they did it, I can do it. Because we all have the same 24-hour clock. God didn't give me 24 hours and give you 20 hours. He didn't give Oprah 28 hours so she can accomplish more. No, we all have the same 24-hour clock. That means we all can do it. No excuses. So as a busy mom, I know we have a lot on our plate, and I know that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to hear a word, and I hope this word has been inspiration to say, you know what, I'm going to follow that dream. I'm so glad you tuned in today. I hope that you got something out of the show today. I hope there was something inspirational, and just when you tuned in, I hope something resonated with you to say, I can do it. I'm going to walk in my victory. So make sure we stay connected. Check me out on all social media platforms. Make sure you get a copy of my book, Miss Gold Digger, and that's Goal and not Gold Digger. This book tells you how to be a gold digger and not a gold digger. And you can purchase it on Amazon.com, and you can find it on my website, AlisonVaugh.com. Thanks for watching The Alison Vaugh Show, the ministry for busy moms.